Okay. So again, I'm not sure how they're going to ask you this, but you're going to need to read chapter 7, page 205, and chapter 1, page 21 to 24.
21 to 24. Perfect.
Okay. What are the versions? I don't know the difference between versions and editions, so I'm just going to call them versions. What are the versions of QuickBooks that are available to you? I need an answer.
Where are you looking at, Mr. Sanchez?
I'm not looking, it's off the cuff.
Oh, okay.
Pro, Premier, there's the accountant version. What is the other one? Enterprise? Is that one?
Mm-hmm.
Enterprise Enterprise Solutions. And what's the other one? One more.
Online.
Yes.
Online.
Pro.
Right. Yeah, that's going to chapter 1. It's going to start on page 1. The next thing they're going to ask you, because it was asked of me, which two versions will allow you to access all 6 editions?
Premier.
Premier and
The Enterprise Solutions.
Enterprise Solutions. Let's see here.
I thought that was supposed to be industry specific reports.
Industry specific, yeah.
What did you say? The question was, what are the 2 versions that allow you to access all 6?
All 6 industry specific versions, yeah.
Oh, all 6. Oh, okay. Let me write industry.
I have my QuickBooks up because your Pro won't have this. How do I share it?
Okay, so what you're gonna do is there's a button at the bottom of your screen on the on the little white bar. It says share screen or screen. Share screen. So here, let me turn off mine. Actually, do you see share screen? Do you see
captions?
No, not turn on captions.
You are presenting?
Yes. Click that, and it should. Oh, and it's going to ask you what do you want to share, and you want to click share your entire screen, and then.
Come on.
I don't know if you can present the same time I can presenting.
Okay. Anyway, on your QuickBooks Premiere, under File, down at the bottom, before the exit, there's a button there. And it says Toggle. And you want to go there. And from there, come on.
Hold on, you're sharing your screen right now?
No.
Okay.
I don't know how. But on your screen, on the 2018, any Premiere, if you go to File, go all the way down, just before exit, you're going to see Toggle.
Hold on.
I don't think you don't have it as you have Pro. You said.
Oh, I know, but I'm gonna type this in so then they can do it on their own. So in Premiere, you're gonna go to File, and then
mine says Toggle. Let me see here. Toggle to another edition. And it's going to list all six of them, and you can toggle to another one. Manufacturing, contracting, nonprofit, all the other ones. I was asked this question, so you need to know. I'm not sure where it is in the book, but you know it now.
Okay. And what were the six? What were the six features that you said? The
Mine shows Premier Contractor Edition, Premier Manufacturing and Wholesale Edition, Premier Non-Profit Edition,
contractor. You said manufacturer, retail.
Manufacturing and Wholesale, and Wholesale,
Manufacturer, and wholesale,
and then
nonprofit.
Non-Profit. And they have Professional Service Edition. Then if I ask you what
Professional service.
Service Edition, yeah. Is that 2, 4?
That's only 4.
Yeah. Well, mine has go to another Premier Edition. No, Premier Retail Edition.
Okay.
And QuickBooks Pro.
Oh, so you have access to QuickBooks Pro.
Yeah. Well, I could download. I could downgrade to it. Yeah. You can't upgrade from Pro into Premier.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I have all 6. Okay. Wait.
Okay.
Yeah, I have all
Now-
6. No, yes.
They're not. I don't think they're going to ask you about the additions, but they are going to ask you about how you get there. And that's how you get there. Little toggle. Everyone understand that? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, thanks.
Okay. You need to know how to navigate around QuickBooks. How can you go from your home page? How can you go to create an invoice? You have your home page on your screen. How can you go to create an invoice? From here, there's about, 7 different ways. Yes, go ahead.
So not just from the home screen?
Yeah, I need to know all of them. You need to know how to navigate throughout QuickBooks.
Okay.
And I'm
You have
telling
the
you, put your
invoice on the home.
on where?
On the home screen.
That's
you
one way.
have the,
That's one way,
Yeah.
and that's not available.
So then you go to the menu bar and go to vendors, create invoice. Right?
Yes.
Okay, that's not available.
Select the company that you want and go to
How do you
manage
get there?
transactions.
How do you get there?
Okay, you can go to customers or vendors, whichever one you're creating an invoice for in the menu bar or the icon bar.
Okay, so where does that take you?
That'll take you to either the customer center or the vendor center.
Mhm.
Then you select
sure
the
the- Make sure the vendor center, because then you're creating it.
the vendor center.
No,
Yeah.
actually, no.
Oh.
You need to go to the customer because you're creating an invoice for a customer,
Yes.
right? So you gotta make sure. If you choose vendor, you're wrong. And go to the next question, please. So as long as you choose customer, you're okay. So
Okay.
go to customer center and then what?
You can either go up to new transaction,
Okay.
Mhm.
or you can right click in the customer service area, and then from the pop-up pick invoice. You can
Okay.
select the company and go down to manage transactions on the bottom right.
Mhm.
All right. That's it.
Ah, there's one more.
One more.
One more.
Income tracker from the icon bar.
Yes, income
Okay.
tracker from the icon bar. Yes, that's the one I
I s-
showed them.
Like Lynn and I try to tell you guys, once you go out into the real world, all you need to know is one way. But for the exam, you need to know all of them.
And
That's
what
the hardest
chapter
part
is
about
that
it.
in?
What's that?
What chapter is that in, that we can read that?
They're
good,
all
that's good, you
they're
are.
that's all that's the entire thing that we've been doing this whole week.
Yeah.
and
gonna
last
be-
week.
Say that again, Lynn?
We learned all of that in the last week. So chapter
Okay.
chapter 4 is dealing with your vendors. Chapter 2 is dealing with your customers. So all of that is all separated. There's not one place.
Yeah, the whole thing from chapter 2 all the way to chapter 13. You need to know how to get to your inventory. You need to know how to get to your chart of accounts. You need to know how to get to your invoices. You need to know how to get to your statements. You need to know how to navigate throughout QuickBooks in order to do all your tasks. Not just one. They're not going to ask you to say create an invoice. They're going to ask you, how do you get to your chart of accounts? They're going to ask you how do you view and how do you print out your inventory? They're going to. You need to know all the ways to do the tasks that they ask you. You need to know how to navigate all throughout QuickBooks. Okay. Again, don't just answer a question on a practice test, because the practice test is just practice. How else can they ask you the same thing and get the same response from you? How else can they cover that same subject matter with you? The practice test may ask you about invoices. The exam may ask you about inventory. They're still going to want to know, do you know how to get around QuickBooks?
I have a question.
Yes.
Go ahead.
When you're doing the interactive section, and let's say
Yep.
you go to the menu bar, to customer service center, and to the
Yep,
invoice, if it's incorrect the way they want you to go, will they just tell you it's incorrect, or will they not let you proceed, or how does that work? So you know that you didn't go the way that they wanted.
I believe that they just won't let you proceed.
Okay.
You have not completed a task the way they want you to complete, but you haven't done it wrong. If you went to vendor, okay, of course there is no invoice in vendor, so no, it's wrong. Thank you very much. Move on to the next question. You don't get multiple tries. You only get multiple tries as long as you choose a correct path,
path.
but not the path that they're looking for.
Okay.
But don't forget, the clock doesn't stop while you're looking for this correct path. The clock is still ticking.
Mm-hmm.
So the longer you take, okay, I tried the home page. Where else can I go? Where else can I go? Where else can I go? While you're trying to decide where else to go, the clock's still ticking. You're losing time. So you got to know one after the other, and lose as little time as possible.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, if you're not sure of a question, can you skip it and come back to it?
Yes. There is a
Yes,
button
you can.
There is a button that says skip.
But you have to
And
be
now,
careful because I had students tell me that there's an actual skip button and there's also a skip and go back. So you have to be careful on which one you choose because one of my students, he failed the exam on his first try because he clicked skip when he wanted to go back to that question. So there is two options. There's a skip and go back and there's a skip question. If you don't know it, you skip it. If you want to skip it and come back to it, you have to make sure that you select the right one.
Okay.
Okay?
The only downside I see with the skip button is they'll list all your skipped questions, but it's only going to be question number 3, question number 14. Unless you memorize which question was which, you have no idea where you want to go back to. I'm not sure how many times you can skip that question, but so you go back to question 3. You still don't know the answer to that one. You know the answer to another question that they asked before. So you got to go through the whole thing until you find the question that you know the answer to. So just because you skip it doesn't mean, you got more time. They're not telling you, question number 3 involves inventory. Question number 14 involves setup. Question number 26 involves, no, they're not going to tell you that. Just you skip question 3, question 14, and question 26. Which one do you want to go back to? My memory was not that good. All right. Does everyone understand this? So the hardest part about the hardest part about the certification is you need to know every single way. Right?
Every single way is gonna be hard, but this is all on YouTube, right, Lynn?
Yes, our class lecture, yes.
Like
It,
previous days, yeah.
yes.
Okay.
I have to look at that.
Right. And next one is how to back up a company. How often should you back up a company?
Every day?
Every day. The book says you should do it every day. How often should you back it up on off-site device? The book says once a week. Every day you should back it up on like a flash drive. Once a week, a flash drive or external hard drive, but take that off-site. Your daily backups only if your computer goes down, right? You go to another computer as long as it has QuickBooks. You go to another computer and restore your backup and continue on. If your whole system goes down, no one's working. You have at least you have an offsite. You're only 1 week behind, and then you can find other computers again as long as they have QuickBooks. And you go to start again from week ago. All right. That's how you restore back. That's how you restore a backup file, right? You need to restore it through QuickBooks. Okay.
And it's easy. You guys just go to File, and it just says Create a Company Backup.
Yeah. Chapter 1, page 2, page 12 through 16. I got down. This was how do you determine the release number in QuickBooks? How do you determine that? Anybody?
What's that special button? It's been a long time since they reviewed this information.
Chapter 1, page 2. Do not use Control 1. That's a shortcut. That will not be accepted. You want to use function key,
F2,
Two.
right?
F2, that is
Yes.
correct.
function key, not just F, function key 2. The key's way up there on top of the keyboard. Very first line. What do we see in function key 2?
Version
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
license of the QuickBooks.
yeah. Version, release number.
Yeah, version.
What else will it tell you? It'll tell you about your files. How many names have you used so far? How many names do you have in your chart accounts? How many names do you have in your items? How many names do you have in your customers? It'll tell you all about your files. Okay, that's basically all you need to know. You're not interested in the licenses. You're not interested in when the company bought when the company bought it, but you are interested in the version. You are interested in the release number. And you are interested in your files. Chapter 1, page 2. Do not use Control 1. That's a shortcut, and that will not be accepted. Okay? How do you update the QuickBooks manually?
Are you talking about when you get a new version and it pops up and says there's an update, click to update?
There are.
No, it won't say click. It won't say click to update. You're gonna be talking to me, and you're gonna say, "I got my Let me see here. Hold on for a minute. You're gonna say my last release was Romeo 1 6 Papa. I'm go, and you're gonna say, hey, no, I got a new one. I got Romeo 20 Papa. How do I go in and update my QuickBooks?
Manually, you said?
Yes,
Okay.
manually.
Okay. I already know.
You don't know? Yeah, you do.
I should know.
You want to go?
Is it
You
under
want to go?
company?
No, you want to go to help on the menu bar.
Yep.
Oh.
And then you're gonna get a drop down menu and it says update.
Yeah, let me do. I can't read. Come on, where are you at? Oh, there we are. Nope. It's going to say update QuickBooks. You want to go there?
Yep. Up.
Okay. Then it's going to ask you. You got 3 tabs: overview, options, and update now. So you want to go help. You're going to go see a button there that says update now. Click on that. And then you want to go get updates. And it will automatically, as long as you're on the internet, it'll automatically contact into it and and retrieve the updates for you. So that's it. Help, update QuickBooks, get update now, get updates. Everyone's good so far, right?
Oh, okay, hold on. What's the difference between how do you determine the release number and
How you
this
determine
one?
F2.
Yeah, but then what's the
F2.
difference? Okay, and then you have what edition of QuickBooks is available and how do you find out what you're using? Isn't that F2 as well?
Yeah. That's yeah, F2, because you got the 5 editions, right?
Yep. F2.
Online, Pro, Premier, Executive Censor. And how do you find which one you're using? F2.
Okay, sorry, I skipped
How do you
forward.
determine your release number? Right? F2.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know you need an update? Because someone tells you, hey, my last release number is Romeo 20 Papa. And you see, well, mine's only Romeo 16 Papa. Well, then go down, update it. Help.
Use.
Update QuickBooks. Update now.
Mhm.
Get updates. Those are the steps. How do you use QuickBooks in single user and multi-user mode? That's pretty easy. That's chapter 12, page 387. Who decides whether you're in single user or multi-user mode?
You said it was chapter. Jeez.
12,
Page
page 387.
387.
Who decides whether you're in single user or multi-user mode? Who can change it from one to another? Can any clerk change it?
No, would it be the owner of the company or the accountant?
Or the administrator?
The
Administrator.
admin. That's correct.
Yeah. Whoever's in charge of QuickBooks could be the accountant, but he may have delegated that to someone else. Whoever is the administrator of the QuickBooks is the only one who can change it. Okay. Off the cuff right now. What are the 3 ways to enter data into QuickBooks? There's only 3 ways to enter data into QuickBooks that they officially recognize. Linda showed you this over and over again. Too
Are
long.
you talking about the centers?
The what?
The 3 centers? Is that what you're talking
Nope.
about? I don't under,
Nope.
I guess I don't understand the question.
Okay. How do you enter data? How do you put information into QuickBooks?
Manually,
Manually.
How's
Okay,
that?
but how what is manually?
Would it be
You
through
have
the
four.
homepage?
Nope. You have forms. You have registers. And you have
Lists.
forms, registers, and lists. Yeah. Those are the only 3 ways that they recognize that you can enter data into QuickBooks.
Okay, so remember, it's like
Right.
every time we enter a bill or anytime we enter something, it's like filling out a form,
Exactly.
like at the doctor's office.
Exactly. Exactly. Or you go into a register and enter data or delete data.
Hmm.
And when you create a list, you're entering data. What's the name of this item? What's the name of this customer? And what's the price? What's the cost? Forms, registers, and lists. The only 3 ways that they tell you that you should enter data into QuickBooks. Which accounts have registers? You are going to be asked that. I was asked it, and students that came to me after the fact said that they were also asked this.
Permanent accounts,
Which are
asset, equity, and liability.
yes.
Yes. And let me see how I can ask this question. If your rent expense does not have a register, what does it have?
Come on, guys, we just went over this today.
It has a temporary account.
No.
But what if it doesn't have a register? What was today's chapter about?
Oh, a report. It has a quick report. You can get a quick report or
Yeah.
income
Yes.
and
There you
expense
go.
reports.
Yes.
Exactly.
I'm not sure how they're going to ask you this, because there's various ways, but they're going to ask you to know this. Does checking account have a register? Yes. Does the accounts payable have a register? Yes. Does your equity account have a register? Yes. Does your sales have a register? No. Do your expense accounts have registers? No. Does your checking account have a quick report? No, that's registered. Does your liabilities have a quick report? No, they're registers. Does your sales have a quick report? Yes. Again, when you take your practice test, they're asking you a question. What else can you ask to get the same knowledge or show the same comprehension as they're asking you, but asking a different question? That's what the practice test is going to help you. Not just, do you know the answer to this specific question? But there's this specific, do you know the concept behind this question? Because if you know the concept, you understand the concept behind that question, no matter how they ask it, you're gonna know. Okay? Let's see what's got here. How to password protect QuickBooks. Anybody?
The administrator sets privileges for the files.
No.
But how do they do that?
Only you're correct in half part way, because only the administrator can set the passwords. But how does he do this?
Company preferences?
No.
No.
Company preferences? No. But you're close.
Company menu, set up users and passwords.
Yes. And then continue on from there. We're not going to go into it, but continue on from there. Yeah, that's how it's password protected. You can either do it within the interview, or you can do it after the interview. I suggest you do it after the interview, because during the interview, if you want to change the password, or you forget the password, you have to call into it, and they got to do it for you. If you do it through the company, set up username and passwords, you can do it. You by answering a challenge question. Okay. And next, how and why to use preferences. Why do you want to use a preference?
Would it be to make your navigation easier because you got it to your preferred style?
What do we call that?
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, because you have your own personal, right?
Yes.
And then you have the company preferences, which only the administrator can change. Company preferences you cannot change. That's going to be on QuickBooks no matter what, no matter who uses it. Your preferences will follow your password. My computer crashed, and I want to use David's computer because David's not there. He's playing hooky, right? I log in with my password. My preferences are there. Not David's. My preferences are there. When David comes back tomorrow and logs in under his password, his preferences are there. His personal preferences. Okay, your personal preferences will follow your password. You'll need to worry about, okay, who else's computer can I use, or am I going to mess up their preferences? No. Your personal preferences will follow your password. Company preferences will stay forever until the administrator changes it. Okay. How do you get to preferences?
Edit on the menu bar and then go to the preferences.
Exactly. Okay. Chapter 7, I got page 205 and 207. I'm giving you specific pages, but you should be reading the whole chapters. Okay, next is how do you manage lists? How do you add a new customer?
In the customer center,
Okay, go there, and then what?
you right click and go to new.
Okay, that's one
Right-click
way.
where? Right-click
You
where?
right click
Anywhere.
In the customer center, you can right click anywhere, but I usually
And then-
right click where all the companies are.
Come on, open. So go to companies, right click. Okay, yeah, new customer. Okay, that's one way, but not available.
Okay, when you're in the customer center, go up, I'm trying to think of the name of that tab. New customers?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
New customer / jobs is what it's called.
Okay. How do you edit a customer? He moved. Yeah.
So you would open the customer and then you could right click on it, or you could click on his screen that's next to it and click edit.
What's the icon to edit it on the right side?
Edit customer?
You could
No,
right
no, I
you,
see it.
you on so you were talking about on the interface where you see the customer's information, right?
Right, and it's on the, when you click on the customer, everything's on the right hand side.
Exactly. So what is that icon in order to edit the customer's information?
It doesn't just say edit.
No.
No,
Um,
it's
You guys gonna find this funny, okay? I've been doing this since 2012. On the right side, on the upper right hand side, you're gonna see a
Up.
little icon.
yep.
I, being stupid, and I have no idea why. I said this is a fork. I have no idea why a fork is an edit button, but it's a fork. Finally, 2 years ago, a student came to me and said, that's not a fork, it's supposed to be a pencil. I go, okay, that makes more sense, pencil.
Yeah, it's the pencil icon. Yeah. Pencil icon. You can right click on the actual customer, and you can even double click it. And it should pop double click customer.
can I just ask a question about this when we're doing these tests?
Sure.
When I know there's like part of the test that you said will be like navigating through
Mhm.
QuickBooks. On the multiple choice questions, do we see the screen?
No.
Like we can't so it's gonna ask a question and we can't like look at the screen and be like, okay,
No.
that's the answer.
Nope.
No. Okay.
They're gonna say
All right.
the way I understand the way it was doing for me. Okay, they're gonna give you multiple choices. Go here, and from here go there, and from there go there, and from there go somewhere else, and that's the way you get it done. No, you don't see a screen.
But most of
They're
the,
just gonna-
would you say most of the questions are more conceptual? Like it's asking you, what can you do? Like, for example, which registers have, which accounts have registers? It's more like that when you're just asking the multiple choice. Now you will see maybe 1 or 2 questions that will say, how do you get to the customer center? And it will give you 4 options, right? A, use the home page, or B, use the icon bar, or C, use the menu bar. But it's not going to actually be like a list of step by step how to get there.
Well, I was
When you go
asking
to-
for this particular question, you know what I mean? Like, I can see it, I can visualize it, I know where I need to go to do it, but if it's multiple choice, I wouldn't have known it was a pencil icon. So I would need to actually do that in a multiple choice question.
That
Okay.
part will probably be
Navigation.
interactive.
Yeah, the navigation portion.
Okay.
But there's gonna be other things that's gonna be text. That's what I'm saying. When you do a practice test, okay, the practice test may ask you to do this task, and it may show you a screen. But on certification, they won't show you the screen. they're gonna say, create an invoice. Okay, you can do it from the home page. You can do it from the menu bar. Well, or you can do it from the menu bar slash create invoice. You can do it from the icon bar slash new transactions. Okay, and that's you have those three, or all the above. And you got to choose from those. Okay, so you need to be able to visualize the screen. Don't just think, oh, just because they showed me on the practice test, they showed me a screen. That's the way it's going to be on the examination. No, not necessarily. You need to know how to get there. You
Okay.
need to become an expert, or as close to an expert as you possibly can. Okay.
You can stay there.
So the next thing is, I no longer want to use this account or this item or this customer. How do I delete them?
In QuickBooks, you should never ever delete. You should make them inactive.
Inactive, correct.
No, not necessarily. Why should I clutter up my lists? Why should I clutter up my computer space with things I'm never going to use again? You're no longer dealing with Harry Dickens. So why should you keep them on your list? Why should you take up that space? You no longer see, you made a mistake, and you're no longer dealing with you thought you were dealing with AT&T, and now you find out you're dealing with Sprint. So why should you have AT&T on your vendor list? My question is, you no longer want to use this account. You no longer want to use this account. How do you delete it?
Well, you can only delete it if there's no transactions, correct?
Exactly.
Thank you
Yes.
very much. The question was, I no longer want to use this account. Not that I no longer want to list it. I no longer want to use it. You're going to see this on the exam. There's going to be a lot of negative questions. There's going to be a lot of questions about. You need to understand what they're asking about. You no longer want to use it. Well, if you no longer want to use it, it means that it's implying that you did use it at one time. If you use it at all, you can never delete it. I had a student that was using 2002 QuickBooks, and she wanted to delete all her old customers that she doesn't, they're dead or they don't use them anymore. Too bad, you can't delete them. But if you haven't used it, yeah, you can delete it. Click on it and delete. Now then, how do you merge two accounts or two items?
It depends on which one you're merging. So if you want the old one, you would go and either change the account number or you would change the name to exactly what the name is of the one you're merging it with.
Yes.
Be careful. It doesn't matter if it's old or new.
Right, the one you're merging, the one you want it to be.
No.
Exactly. It
No.
doesn't matter if you used these accounts before.
Hmm.
You're gonna merge them. You want to take what
You-
account do you want to get rid of?
Yeah, you want to
After this,
click.
the new one or the old one?
You want to make
Right.
sure
And
that.
you want to edit it and make it look exactly letter for letter, apostrophe for apostrophe, dot for dot, number for number. You want to make it look exactly like the one that you want to keep. And then when you do that, you just go, okay, it's going to say this account already exists. Do you want to merge? And you go, yes. Now, I got that down as chapter 12, page 356 to 362. So you need to know how to add new customers, add new vendors, add new items, add new accounts in your chart of accounts. You're gonna need to know that. Okay, going off the cuff. Say you already used this item, but you don't want to see it on your list anymore because you're not using it any longer. What can you do? No sense of being on your reports, so you don't want to print it out. So what can you do? You can't delete it because you already used it. You can make it inactive. It will hide it from the list. It won't delete it. It's still going to be there. It will hide it from your list. Does everyone understand that?
Yes.
So you can add, you can delete, you can edit, you can merge, you can make it active. You now decide, hey, I need that name, I need that item. I'm bringing it back again. Can you bring it back from being inactive and put it back in the active list?
Yes.
Or do you need to create a new account?
No,
How do you do
can-
that? How do you do that?
You go to the inactive accounts and then check mark the one you want to make active.
Yeah.
And okay.
And there's another way. You talk about the little tab down bottom of the screen, right? It says show all. It says what? It says show all accounts, and it'll show you
Yeah.
everything. And then you said check on the X, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that'll bring it back. How else can you bring it back?
You can go into the item directly, right?
It's inactive. How do you find it? It's inactive. How do you find it?
If you make all accounts, show all accounts.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that's the same
Oh,
way
yeah,
that you just said.
Or you can just
that's
show
just-
all inactive accounts.
Yeah, that we said that already, and then it's going to show the account with an X by it. That's inactive. And if you want it active again, just click on the X. It'll make it active again. How else can you do this?
It's on your mouse.
Right click.
Right click. Yes.
Okay.
Right click on the account and you can make it inactive or you make it active.
But if it's already inactive, you can't see it, so it's not going to be on your list.
Lists.
Go down to the lower left item, and it's going to say show inactive accounts. And it's going to show all the inactive accounts again with the X on it. And just click on the X. So you got show inactive accounts, and you got the item list down the lower left, and you got a drop down, show inactive. Okay.
Wait, say that again. So at the bottom left corner, there's a little drop down
Is it-
window.
Yeah, it says item, and you can that's where it says new, edit,
Oh, okay.
blah 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 blah. This down in there, it's going to say show inactive accounts. Okay, all right. Easy peasy stuff here, guys. Okay, they're gonna ask you about the items. Okay, there's gonna be, what, 4 questions about this. How QuickBooks uses items to perform the necessary accounting behind the scenes. That's in chapter 7. I'm gonna go through it all.
Okay, hold on. Have them answer the question. What are the types of what
Yeah,
are the
that's the next
types?
one.
Okay.
What are types of items, and when are you gonna use each?
Like I meant, like, what's the page number for that? Do you know?
Oh, page number? I got 212 to 220,
212 to 220.
chapter 7. You're gonna need to know all these types of items. Okay. And no, most likely you will not have an interactive. So you can't just let me go listen and see what comes up. No. You're gonna need to know these by heart. All of them. Because they're gonna ask you, is this the item? 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 You're gonna say yes, no, 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 or all the above, or whatever, or what's not an item. So you have what? You have on the item list, you have what? You have service, inventory parts, non-inventory parts, inventory assembly, other charge,
Sales
subtotal,
tax.
group,
Sales tax.
discount, payment, sales tax item, sales tax group. You need to know all that by heart.
So all of these.
And when are you going to use it? When are you going to use the service item? Come on, that's an easy question. When are you going to use the service item?
When you're providing your service.
Exactly.
You're providing a service.
Exactly.
When are you going to use inventory?
When you're using, like, if you're a car dealer and you're using brake pads, then you'll use the inventory because you're taking the brake pads out of your inventory.
Exactly.
Exactly. When you're selling a product, is yeah. For the general, it'd be when you're trying to sell a product to a customer.
When are you going to use a non-inventory product? Or go ahead.
I was just gonna say, was it to purchase and sales of inventory on the last question?
Yeah, that's because it's a two-sided item, right? You're going to sell the inventory, and you're also going to purchase it. So it's a two-sided item,
Okay.
and you're going to need to know, how does QuickBooks know when to use what? How does it know that you're going to purchase it for this amount of money, and how does it know you're going to sell it for this amount of money? You're going to need to know that.
Okay. That's gonna be next week on chapter 8. Like the first thing that you're gonna be learning next week.
Okay. But so how do I know this is a non-inventory item? Okay, I guess maybe that'd be a chapter 8. All
I
right.
guess stuff you don't keep in the inventory.
Exactly. There's 3 things you need for inventory. You need to purchase it or create it. You need to stock it and track it. And you need to resell it. If you're not doing one of those 3 things, one or more of those 3 things, it's non-inventory. I was asked, okay, answer this question if you can. You're a bakery shop. You sell cakes. You expense the eggs. You expense the milk. You expense the flour. How do you how do you keep track, how do you itemize the cake?
With miscellaneous items?
Nope.
No? Products you use from your inventory?
What inventory?
Inventory assembly?
Do you stock it? You stock the cake?
No,
You
so
stock
the,
the items.
No, you expense the items.
the sale price of the cake?
No? Did you create the cake? Yes. Right? Do you stock the cake? No, it's gonna go bad. Well, you can freeze it, I guess, but no. Do you resell the cake? Yeah. But you don't stock it, so it's non-inventory.
Oh, oh.
Okay. Next thing you need to know is how to use items for different types of scenarios. Understand these. Go over your book. Make sure you understand how to do these things. Next is sales. 5 questions about. Which some of them are easy. Who should you be listed in your customer center? Anybody.
All your customers.
Yes, exactly. Easy peasy stuff. Don't be intimidated by the exam. Some of the things are going to be common sense. Just make sure you read the question. Okay, because again, there's going to be a lot of negative questions. Right? John Brown, Sally Jones,
Bob Mason.
okay, you're a bakery shop. John Brown, Sally Jones, ABC Motors, and Charlie Brown, right? Who would not go on your customer center? Well, you know, they're asking you who's not going to be on your customer center. So you know, one of those is on your customer center.
You wouldn't put
Well,
your utilities or anything like that on your customers.
exactly. So you got to know who's going to be on your customer list. Anyone that you're going to service or sell to. Right? And a lot of it's going to be common sense. Don't be intimidated by it. And how to complete the workflow. Invoicing. Again, go to homepage. Start with create invoice. And you follow the arrows all the way to make a deposit. That's going to be the answer. This is sales receipts. So you go to your homepage. And it says, no, this does not include accounts receivable. So you go to your sales. Receive money. All the way down to make a deposit. The homepage is a graphic depiction of your workflow. And that's what you got to follow to do the task from start to end. Have you gotten to undeposited funds yet, Lynn? Lynn,
Yes, I have.
you have. Okay. What's the purpose of undeposited funds?
To show how much money you received? Or profit?
Yeah, but that could go straight into your checking account as it is, right?
That's true.
So what's the purpose of undeposited funds?
The sales transaction creates a separate deposit in your bank account?
A separate, kind of, sort of, but not really. Delve more into that. What do you think?
Okay, I want you to think about it. If you receive a check from your customer in the mail, is it in your bank right now?
No.
It's in your hands, right? So you don't what you need to do in order to validate that it's in the bank.
You need to deposit it.
You need to collect everything and deposit it so then it makes record into your books. Okay?
Exactly.
And then because
It's
you're
just a whole-
doing that, go ahead.
Is this the holding account for all your receivables until you make a deposit?
Mm-hmm.
So you're just tracking it?
You're holding, yeah, you're holding it. It's not listed in your checking account yet. You're just holding it.
Yeah.
Until you do make that deposit.
So like if you get the check on the Monday and you don't deposit anything until Friday, you just put all the checks that you receive from Monday to Friday in a deposit account until you go to the bank.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
This way you have a record of when you made the deposit, right? You know when you received a check, but did you deposit into your account right away? The check that I sent you, it's a check that you received today at 4 o'clock. Did you go down to the bank today and deposit it, or was that tomorrow? And if so, what else did you deposit tomorrow that I should know about? So that's the reason for a deposit. You page 43 and 60, I believe.
Yes, 43 and 16.
Okay. And how do you use accounts receivable? Come on, she just told you this the other day. Accounts receivable. How do you enter data or amounts into your accounts receivable? How do you show that I owe you money?
Creating an invoice.
Yes.
Create an invoice. If I pay you cash, how do you record it?
Sales receipt.
Yes.
A sales receipt is if you receive 100% payment now. An invoice, if you receive 99%, if I owe you 1% up to 99%, you give me an invoice for what I owe you. Do you understand that? An invoice is for anything that you use that anytime I owe you money. I don't care. 1% of the total amount, 100% of the total amount. If I owe you any money for this transaction, you have to issue me an invoice. Only if I pay you 100%, do you issue me a sales receipt. Okay? And how do you record a customer credit?
What is a customer credit?
Or you owe them money?
Not us owing them money, but
Or a credit?
what is a credit? What is a customer credit?
Where the
Uh,
customer has received the product, but they haven't paid for it yet.
Okay, no.
Or they return something.
They return the
Okay.
product. Yes. Okay.
How do you record it? That's the why. How do you record it? I heard her talk. It must have been sometime within the
I
past
wanna
2 weeks.
say- I was gonna say journal.
No, there is no journal. Okay, so remember, what do you need to do? You need to go into the invoice, right? If you're
And then at
in
the top right, is
at
that the
yes.
top right? Is there a button that says credit or return or something?
Yes. So if I were to
Yes.
if I go to create a sales or create an invoice, well not oh shoot, not an invoice. I need an already made invoice. It should say at the top to give us to create a credit memo.
Exactly. You want to create the answer that I'm looking for is, yeah, you want to create a credit memo. I didn't ask you how you create a credit memo, but how do you record the credit through a credit memo?
So, for example, here, if you look at my screen, here's an invoice. At the top, it says right here, you can either receive
Return
payments
credit.
or return credit. Yes. Okay. Okay, so this one says return credit. For vendors, it's credit memo.
But return for vendors, not a credit memo.
No. For customers, it's receive
Yeah,
or return credit. For vendors, it's credit
Yeah.
memo. Essentially, they're the same thing.
Okay, we haven't gotten there yet. Probably going to ask later on. But how do you create for a vendor? How do you create a credit memo? You will be asked this. I send back products to the vendor, right? So I get a credit. How do I record that credit?
In the enter bills,
Okay.
That's part of it. What else?
you record the transaction in the enter bills window as a credit and apply it to one of the unpaid bills.
Right.
Yes.
You go to enter your bill, and at the upper left hand corner, it's going to say bill or credit refund, and you want to click on that button that says credit refund, and that's your credit. There is no memo for the vendor. You enter your bill, you click on the button that says credit refund, and it's going to come up. It's going to change its name to a credit. Okay. You will be asked that. Almost everyone I talked to was asked that. I was asked that.
Dang it, my QuickBooks froze again. I could have sworn it was credit memo.
Let me see here.
Yeah, my QuickBooks froze again. So I can't
Enter bill.
enter bill at the top.
Enter.
It should say I want to say
Enter vendor. Yeah, it says bill and then it says credit.
no
And
memo.
now, all it says is credit.
Okay, no
It's the
memo.
same form as a bill. No memo. It's the same form as a bill, but instead of bill being
Mhm.
the title of the form, it just says credit.
Credit.
Okay, off the cuff. You entered the bill for ABC Company, and you want to pay it. So I just write a check, no? I entered the bill for ABC Company. I'm gonna pay it later. I'm gonna pay it. I'm gonna pay it Friday. Now Friday comes around. I just write them a check. No,
You go to pay bills first and select it.
exactly. If I write a check, QuickBooks is still gonna show me owing them money. You got pay bill. Right? If you don't pay, if you don't go through the pay bill icon, QuickBooks will still show you owing them money. It'll take the money out of your checking account, of course, because you wrote a check. But it'll still show you owing them money. Okay. How I create a statement? It's gone over that already with you. I think you guys already know that, no? Why would you create a statement?
To send it to your customer to show them how much they owe.
Yes.
That's what an invoice is for, no?
Past due invoices.
Not necessarily past due. But you're kind of on the right track.
Well,
'Cause you wanna
books will
list-
show all their open invoices.
Yeah, you want to show a list of all open invoices. Okay?
Yes.
Because
All the
your contract
transactions.
says, yep, your contract says this is going to due at the end of the month. I'm going to come here and do weekly service for you, and you go write an invoice for each of those weekly services. But you're going to send one bill, the statement, at the end of the month. 'Cause that's what your contract is. Do you understand that? You know, you use the phone on a daily basis, and the phone company keeps track of your phone calls. That's your invoice. They keep it. They don't send it to you, but they do send you a bill at the end of the month, and that's your statement.
So then the statement shows all the activities that you did
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
for that month?
exactly, exactly.
Like your
It's
credit
there.
card bill?
No, it shows that okay, you're a lawn company. It shows you went to cut the lawn on week 1. You prune the trees on week 2. You fertilize and maintain the lawn on week 3. Okay, and I'm going to send you a bill at the end of the month, or the end of the quarter, or whatever I said I'm going to do, right? And the statement's going to take all these invoices, right? Because you can't just, the invoice is not created so that you can just make one bill. It's going to show all the invoices, or it's going to take the information from all the invoices and put it on the statement that you're going to send out at the end of the time period. So yeah, even though I tell you I'm going to bill you at the end of the month, I'll still go and invoice you for everything I did for you. And then at the end of the month, I'm going to put everything I did for you on a statement and send it to you.
So it's like a summary?
Exactly. I'll go with that. And how you do that? Linda was talking about that the other day. I remember hearing her talk to you about that. I forget when, but I remember her talking to you about that. So you need to know how and why. And how to handle a bounced check. I believe Linda went over that with you. That shouldn't be too far back in your memory, right? To show you things, okay? Back in 2012, when I certified, I had to do a whole rigmarole to bounce a check. I had to go into my journal. I had to do this. I had just to take care of a bounced check. You don't. All you gotta do is find the check, click a button, and you're done. Okay. QuickBooks tasks do not change. the way you access those tasks, the way you accomplish those tasks are modified, but they don't change. They become easier, okay, but it's not impossible. That's why I tell you, your certification is good for 5 years. You got your 2018 certification, and they say I want 5 years of QuickBooks experience. Go down to certification. In 18, I know what to do. I've been certified, and yes, I kept up with 19. You could Google QuickBooks 2019 and see what's new. You can Google QuickBooks 2020 and see what's new. So you can be totally up to date. That certification is worth actual experience. They certified you that you know what to do with QuickBooks.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be, I'm just looking. This is my first time. This is my first application. I don't care. They want 5 years. You're certified. That's good for a certain number of years. I say 5. You may say 3, but I say 5. But you're good for a certain number of years' experience.
Yes.
Don't let anyone tell you differently. That's the whole purpose for being certified.
Yes. Another thing about being certified as well too, it actually shows that you're capable to learn something and master it. So if you go
Yes.
into a company and let's say they use Petrie and you say I got certified in QuickBooks, they can teach you so you can get the certification for Peachtree and you master not only QuickBooks but you also mastered Peachtree. So that
It's been found.
shows, yeah.
Yeah, it's been found. Okay, QuickBooks is a good segue to almost any other accounting system. If you could master QuickBooks, then you can master almost any other commercially offered software.
And do you guys know what Sage is? Isn't Sage a lot like Peachtree?
Yes, it's like Peachtree. It's another commercially offered accounting software.
Okay.
There's a billion accounting softwares out there.
Yeah.
There's SAP.
You
And
got
I think-
Sage, you got Peachtree.
I think
Grapevine.
Microsoft has one for I think it's just Microsoft Books.
Okay, but it's been shown that QuickBooks is a good segue. If you could do QuickBooks, you will more easily understand. You will more easily understand almost every other software. And if you could accomplish certification, then you can master any other commercially offered software. I can't say that for, hey, I went down, I hired somebody, I got my own unique software for my business. Well, I don't know what was unique about it, so I can't say. But you can learn things easily. You know how the accounting works. You are quick to learn because you learn enough to take certification for QuickBooks. Okay, and you have no bad habits. Darn it! I don't have to untrain you. You're a fresh. Hold on for a second. Hello? Yes. Yes. Okay, I'm back. Yeah. So, you still there? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, how I handle balance checks, I'm gonna go through that because that was one of the last things that I remember Lynn talking to you about.
Okay. Do you want to
How are you
stop?
doing?
I haven't they only took one break for today, so usually I let them out early. It's up to you. It's already 11:35. We could
Oh,
stop
I gotta go
here.
through Purchases, payroll, I haven't gotten there yet.
No, we haven't gotten there. Purchases,
I get
no.
I get there later. Basic accounting. Okay.
Basic accounting.
You need to know the difference between cash and accrual. What's the definition of both those? Okay, they're gonna ask you that. What are the basic financial statements? Lynn just went overview with that. So I'm gonna go there. How and why set a closing date? Right? The closing date just there, so it does not prohibit you, doesn't stop you from going to the past and changing things. But it can restrict you. It does restrict you. You need to go to the administrator and get a password to go into the past. QuickBooks never closes. If you don't have a closing date, you go back to day one and change things. That's why you need to set a closing date, because it restricts your
Access.
access yet to the past. How to enter a journal entry. That's not the official recognized way to enter data or do transactions, but you will be asked, because there are going to be times when the accountant says, hey, I need you to make a journal entry. But he will tell you, or she will tell you, this is how I want you to do it. This account, credit, so much money. This account, debit, so much money. Because to do a journal, you need to know debits and credits. Okay. What system does QuickBooks use? What kind of system does QuickBooks use? Anybody? What system? Well, let me put it this way. What system do you use in QuickBooks?
Accrual, you mean? Double entry?
No.
Double entry, yes.
QuickBooks uses double entry. What do you use?
Single entry?
Single. Yeah. All you do is take a form and put down one thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not the correct answer. QuickBooks uses, and they're going to ask you about QuickBooks, so don't get confused. QuickBooks uses double entry. It will take that single entry of yours and turn it into a double entry formula. Okay. What method does QuickBooks default to?
Accrual.
Accrual. Can you change it?
Yes.
How?
In your reports, or you can do it in your company preference settings.
Yes.
Purposes, yes.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Under the tabs reports, yes.
And we're running short of time, but when you memorize your reports, does that actually save your reports? Yes or no? Will the report I memorized today, is that being saved? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Memorized report.
No.
There's a trick question to that. The question
that's-
was, is the information in the report memorized? Or
Unless you program it to do that.
Because I could go back and change things, and it's going to change your report, correct? The only thing Memorize does, it memorizes the format. Right? When you go in and say, I want my title to look this way, I want this column to be over here, I want this column deleted. Okay, that's what's memorized. How did you format the report?
Mhm.
Not the numbers. How many custom fields can you enter for your customer?
15.
I believe it's 5.
No,
for a customer?
for a customer.
What's that 3 numbers I was talking about earlier? Do you guys remember?
Is it 15?
15 is total.
No, that's total. How many custom fields can I enter for my customer?
I thought it was 5.
7.
No.
7.
7. Yes. All people, all persons are 7. Customers, vendors, employees, there's 7. How many custom fields can I enter for my items?
It's 15 maximum custom fields,
Uh-huh.
7 fields per vendor, and 5 customizing for your chart of accounts.
Yes.
For your items, yes.
Yes,
All
items.
people, customers, vendors, employees, all people, you can enter 7 custom fields. Okay. All items, non-people, you can only enter 5.
Do you know what chapter that's in?
3, what I believe.
Chapter 7.
Okay.
7, yeah.
Chapter 12 touches upon what it is. No, it's chapter 12. Because chapter 7,
okay.
chapter 7, it's the end of chapter 12.
Discuss,
Actually,
yeah.
I think so. Actually, it should be chapter 7. It should be chapter 7. It should
gonna keep
definitely
being
be
longer.
chapter 7.
You need to know how to enter data 3 ways. Make sure you know that. Custom fields. Okay, you need to know that. You need to know all the versions of QuickBooks, the 5 of them. Yes. You need to know the 6 specific versions or editions. No. But how do you get to the 6? There's only 2 ways. Preferences. Okay, you got to own a QuickBooks preference, not preference.
Premiere.
QuickBooks Premier or QuickBooks Enterprise Solutions. 2 words, not just one, 2 words. Enterprise Solutions. And you're gonna go to Field, go down, toggle, and choose the edition you want.
Okay.
Okay. That's only that will only be if you are going freelance to take on more than one customer. Because when you go work for somebody, they're only going to be one. They're only going to be using one system or one version. All right. Again, read the book. All right. I suggest read the book twice before you. I read the book twice. Well, I didn't have this book here. I just said it. Just read. There was no downloads. There was no QuickBooks that I could take home with me. There were no practices. It was just reading. I read that book twice before I took the certification.
Okay.
Back then I only had 2. I only had 3 practice tests. Period. That's all they gave me. You have 30. Take advantage of that. Again, you're going to hear people say, "Oh, the practice tests mean nothing because they have no relationship to the exam." And I tell you, that's true. They have no relationship to the exam. You want to take the practice test and go in there and try to figure out how else can they ask a question covering the same subject matter? Because that's where the practice test is going to come in handy to you. How else can they ask the same question? How else can they see if they understand the same concept? Okay, don't go in there and say, "Oh yeah, I know the answer to this question, I know the answer to that question," because you're not going to see that question again. You still on the certification. But if you know, hey, I had this question, but they're asking, they're asking for his answer in a different way. I know that way because I went home and I made myself understand all the ways that they're going to ask. And I know it. Know things by heart, okay? Because you won't have time. They're going to come there and say, "Do this task," and it's going to be invalid. You don't have time to sit there and think about, well, how else can I do this? How else can I do it? No, you got to know, boom, 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 boom. That clock is still ticking. It's not stopped waiting for you to come up with another guess. As far as they're concerned, there are no guesses. You either know it or you don't know it. The clock's ticking. All right?
Okay. And I believe for the actual certification exam, you only need to get a 70% to get certified. So don't make that, assumption that, oh, that means I have free range to miss all these questions. No, because it's very important that you try to score a high score. But to pass the certification exam, it is a 70%. And what we require of you is to try to practice the exam and score at least a 90%, not just twice. I recommend at least 6 to 10 times passing it in a row, not just here and there, in a row. Okay?
I'll tell you this from past experience, from my own experience, and from what I've heard from other students. Okay, they walk out of that exam, that certification exam, knowing I got 100%.